Hi everyone, it's Andrew here from Lead Candidate, and I'm really pleased to be joined this morning by Muctarr Sesay, Chief Scientific Officer from GBI Bio. Good morning, Muctarr. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Andrew, and it's my pleasure to participate in this video.
Great, excellent. And thank you for giving your time, because I know everyone is super busy right now. What I'd like you to do, Muctarr, for our viewers, if you don't mind, is most of the recent conversations we've had with people from GBI have been with people who've been with the business a relatively short amount of time. Your journey is quite different because you've been with Goodwin Biotechnology and now GBI Bio Manufacturing as it is for over 20 years. So it's quite a different story to tell. But what I'd love you to do for our viewers, if you don't mind, is maybe tell us a little bit about your backstory and your history, your career, and how you ended up at Goodwin Biotechnology. And then we can sort of take the conversation from there.
Indeed, my story is a whole lot different. I joined Goodwin in July 2002. That's about 21 years. And I was born in Sierra Leone, in West Africa, and basically finished high school and college in England, in London, where I went up to my doctorate. And you know, it's interesting for me because I've had the privilege of actually spending almost equal time in Africa, England, and the US. But for me, actually spending time, a lot of fun memories in England. Maybe that's for another time that we'll talk about my experiences there. But after completing my doctorate in London, I got a position at University of Maryland College Park. But what's interesting is over time, I actually have moved with my family. And from Africa to London, and then eventually to the US. And so basically, I have a PhD in biochemistry, and I did my postdoc at University of Maryland College Park, and then moved into the industry. So I've actually been in the biopharmaceutical industry for nearly 30 years. And so for me, it's essentially a tale of two parts of my career. You know, the first half is essentially R&D, drug discovery, that type of hardcore scientific projects. Then the second half now, which, you know, is GBI, it's been working for a CDMO.
Yeah.
So basically, my career has been very broad, and really looking forward to say more about myself.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you. So, you know, you have got, you know, if I look at your background and the people I know in the industry who know you, Muctarr, you know, you have developed a real position as a leader academically and professionally in bioconjugation and protein science. You know, was that a very sort of conscious decision that you made, or did you find that the industry kind of guided you in that direction, and your sort of your academic experience and professional experience and the way the markets evolved kind of came together?
Well, actually, it's a combination of various aspects. As a protein biochemist during my PhD and postdoc, did a lot of protein structure and function. But as I moved into the biotech industry, I was very fortunate to be exposed in the area of, I would say, protein chemistry and organic chemistry and biochemistry, that interface. And so I got involved, get exposed into conjugates, basically putting small molecules to biologics together. And so I did a lot of drug discovery and development. The company that I worked for prior to joining GBI. And so this was in the mid to late 1990s. And that really has allowed me then to position me to basically, when I moved into GBI in 2002, it was non-existent. But I had a vision that for many reasons, bioconjugates is the future. And at that time, monoclonal antibodies really were the thing in terms of as a therapeutic drug. But by modifying these antibodies, you can utilize them whether for diagnostics or therapeutics, or you want it to stay in the body much longer or quicker. So when I joined the organization, pretty much we took it from ground zero. I was very fortunate that we had a few contracts with medical institutions in which we started honing our skills and the development of bioconjugation. And really, it's mind-boggling to see how it's evolved over the last 20 years. So much so now that there were certain technologies that we were doing at that time that is now known as theranostics, you know, which is basically you see the disease and then you treat it. So therapy and diagnostics. And we were doing that at Goodwin, you know, those days without realizing the impact we were going to make. And so theranostics now is one of the key technologies in terms of precision medicine. And we are really Goodwin is at the cuff of this wave. And I think we're at the end of the beginning. But we are so many years ahead of our competition as a CDMO. So yes, indeed. And also bioconjugation allows us in terms of coming up with complex biologics, not just theranostics, highly precision medicine. But when you look at vaccines, like opioid addiction, you know, we have developed and manufactured conjugate vaccines because the US government have declared a few years ago opioid addiction as a national, you know, emergency. And it's all to do with conjugation. So there are many facets of conjugation. But one of the key things from GBI's perspective is that it allows us to make a complex biologics all under one roof, meaning that we make the antibody also, not just taking the antibody and then add some kind of payload to it.
You're creating
it. Yes. So that gives us a lot of flexibility, you know, from the basic research cell bank, taking it all the way through to making the antibody, the monoclonal antibody or recombinant protein, but also doing the conjugation. And then basically creating the drug substance and ultimately the drug product, which is the vial product that goes into the patients.
It must be. I remember talking to Darren in one of the first conversations I had with Darren, and that was one of the things that got him really excited, was just the fact that there is just this breadth of service offering that GBI can deliver to its customers. And, you know, it sounds like that's one of the things that from a technical perspective you found so exciting, was the fact that you could see everything happening under one roof.
Exactly. And that's the key. It's end-to-end, you know, capabilities. And not just end-to-end, but also we simplify the manufacturing supply chain. Remember, these bioconjugates are high-value, complex products. And there's so many moving parts from the time you really start with the research cell bank, the RCB, and then, you know, you have the process development group that will develop the process for both the upstream cell culture, the downstream purification, the characterization, and then followed by the conjugation, and then further characterization. And then there's a lot of supporting staff aspects of this, from not just from the process development, but also from the GMP manufacturing aspect. And but not only that, we also have the quality support, RAQA, QC support, and then very important also doing the fill finish, you know, all under one roof. And so really it makes for a great opportunity for the client to get this their projects done in a very quick manner, because for our business as a CDMO, it's about speed.
Speed, of course.
Trying to get, many of our clients don't want to get to the clinic yesterday.
Yeah.
And so our job is to ensure that it's done with great flexibility and great interaction with the client, and in order to make sure that basically we meet their expectation. So again, doing it all under one roof allows us to be able to indeed manufacture the product. But also another key is when once we've completed their early phase work, quite a number of our clients stay with us all the way through now to commercial manufacturing. We have one client now that basically they're now at the cusp of going commercial, and they've been with us for a good part of 10 years. And we took it really from ground zero all the way through now, they're ready for commercial launch. And there are others that are now waiting in the pipeline, which we started from ground zero.
That's brilliant, though. I mean, that's great as well. If you think as an employee of that organization, how rewarding is that to get involved in early stage clinical trial through to late stage trial through to commercialization? That's an incredible, to be part of that process, where you can see it under that one roof developing and going that way. That must be incredibly rewarding for the team.
Exactly. That for me, 20 years ago, I could not envision where we are.
Yeah.
It's really to be an honor for me to be part of this this evolution, and really the fact that now we're at the cusp of going to commercial launch. We hope this year we'll achieve the PAI successful inspection, and sometime next year, probably Q1 or Q2, we should be able to do our launch of our first product on behalf of our client. So it's been truly rewarding, and I've always envisioned us being, I remember 20, even 10 years ago, we were almost like a boutique, basically, in which we're focusing mostly on early stages, And now we've taken that leap of faith and moving into the commercial avenue is truly, for me, a honor to see this come to fruition.
Yeah, I bet. Listen, you've touched on the future, you've touched on the sort of the journey, and I think we're getting a real sense for kind of why you got excited 21 years ago to join this business. I think we can, that really comes across when you talk about the potential. And now you're 20 years further on and you look back and you think, wow, what a journey that we've been on. What do you think the future holds, and what are you excited about in terms of what's going to happen at GBI over the next 3 to 5 years?
I see, of course, commercial launch. But I see technologies now evolving. As a CSO here at Goodwin, there are several areas that Goodwin is uniquely, qualified and excited to move into. Again, the hope is to broaden our horizon in bioconjugates. I did mention about theranostics, which is high precision medicine. And also I see other areas such as nanotechnology, like exosomes, or small antibodies that can basically penetrate, say blood-brain barrier or other areas with ease, so that it gets to the target and effectively does what it do, basically delivering the drug. So it's really it's truly exciting, and for me to be part of this, not just the last 20 years, but in the near future, the next few years. So it's truly exciting to be, part of that growth, that we've been experiencing.
I mean, it must be, and of course, you now can say I know what it was like 20 years ago. This is what it's like today. I know we can achieve these things. I know we can do these things. What do you put the success of GBI down to? I think it'd be interesting to kind of get your perspective on the culture of the organization and how that has developed and evolved, and help our viewers get an understanding of kind of the environment, if you like.
Yeah, to me, Goodwin have evolved, and it's some of the culture is about respect, basically, and fairness, which you will, as an employee at Goodwin, you will experience. I think the team effort, the camaraderie of it.
Yeah.
And also Goodwin, basically, it's about growth. A good example now, in fact, since we brought in our new CEO about just over a year ago, a few, quite a number of things in addition to getting to commercial launch, but there is more awareness now of Goodwin. We've basically rebranded ourselves. I keep saying Goodwin because the old name is
Goodwin to GBI.
But it's actually from Goodwin Biotech to, formerly known as Goodwin Biotech, now to GBI. And so we have a new logo. And so also it has allowed me to basically create more awareness now about Goodwin, about GBI, and that's part of my job, preparing thought leadership articles and those kinds of activities. So GBI now is more well known than it was during the past, say, 15 years prior. Yeah. So again, there's also employee engagement, another area also in terms of culture, and in basically the camaraderie between employees.
And I suppose that when you've got that everything under one roof, you've got to have that teamwork and you've got to have that camaraderie, because it's progressing through the food chain, isn't it? So you've got to have everybody working together to make sure it comes out of the other end successfully.
Right. Well, exactly. That is what drives Goodwin, in order to meet client expectation, because as a CDMO, it's pretty much the client followed by the employees.
Yep.
And we all have to be in sync. We all have to have a common purpose. And basically, and it also stemmed from our vision, our mission, in which taking a molecule, from process development all the way through to the market. And very important also is that it saves lives, patients' lives. And that's also what drives us here at Goodwin.
Yeah. So thinking about GBI then, and thinking about the future, and obviously we're involved in the organization because we're helping the organization hire new people and join the business, and to play their part in the next chapter in the GBI history. So what would you say to someone who was watching this video who might be considering GBI as a career option? What kind of things would you say to them about what they can expect if they came to work there?
I would say, if you're looking for challenge in the biologics process development manufacturing organization, and also for a highly regulated, CDMO, contract development manufacturing organization, it's a place to be, because we basically it's fully integrated, and we take a product basically from the basic research cell bank, but in order to get that product into the vial for infusion into the patient, there's a lot that goes into it. So an employee may experience different aspects of what we do, from the process development through to manufacturing and the regulatory aspect and the testing, the characterization. So there's a lot of opportunities. Aside from really the company itself, the developing and manufacturing these complex biologics, I love South Florida. The weather is fantastic. Maybe it's because I'm from Sierra Leone, you know, hot, hazy, humid. I enjoy traveling, you know, and I enjoy traveling to the Caribbean. I love cruises. So aside from the work itself, there's also the cultural diversity, you know, and there's just something about Miami that's everybody kind of a little bit more relaxed. The weather is nice all year round. So if you're looking for challenges, if you're looking for highly integrated, complex biologics, process development, manufacturing, and also for a highly regulated environment, plus also you enjoy cultural diversity, the theater, and if you love the Caribbean because it's a short flight or short hop, this is the place for you.
It's the place to be.
That's the reason why I've been here. I thought, well, let me give it a couple of years. So, but then I got hooked, and that's it. I've made a commitment. Pretty much, this is where I'm going to stay and ultimately retire. Pretty much, out of Florida.
And I think, you know, and hopefully, as you know, I think every time we talk to anyone from GBI, yes, it's challenging. Yes, it's hard work, but everybody seems to have a great time. You know, that everyone, you know, it's fun, right? To come to work, to do meaningful work, but to enjoy what you're doing.
Yes, indeed. That to me, in a nutshell, what it's all about. It's a good balance of your professional endeavors together with your personal. You know, there's something for pretty much everyone here. And, you know, Miami, South Florida is known as a tropical paradise, really. You know, even though some of us that have lived here for so long, we take it for granted, but it truly is a great place to live and work.
Amazing. Listen, Muctarr, thank you for taking some of your time and to speaking to us today. We're going to really enjoy watching how the future of GBI develops, and yeah, I'm really grateful to have spent some time talking to you. So thank you so much, and we'll speak again soon.
Thank you very much, and it's been a pleasure chatting with you, Andrew. Take care.
Thanks, Muctarr. Bye-bye.
Bye.